So this is the Hallmarkies podcast, and we are here to talk about 2 weeks worth of Christmas movies. That's a lot of Christmas, Amber.
I know. I want to first off apologize. It's all my fault. I had finals last week, and I just said, Rachel, I can't make it work. And Rachel, being the angel human that she is, said, it's okay. We've done 7 movies before. Let's do 7 movies next week.
Yeah.
And I was like, thank you.
Well, and we had the Q&A ready to go, so it all worked out perfect. And we hope you enjoyed the Q&A. We had a lot of fun filming it.
We did. We talked a lot, and there's probably stuff that got cut that wasn't necessarily interesting, but we talked about it.
Yeah, this is true. Well, it's always fun to edit. But all right, so let's get started right away with all of these movies. And we want to hear your feedback because we may have some somewhat controversial opinions on some of these. And so we want to hear what you think in the comment section or on social media. Let us know. And so let's get started with The Christmas Cottage.
Okay, let's do it.
Yes, so this is going way back 2 weeks. And this, we had originally given it 2 oranges. We were just full of oranges in this segment of the preview.
In our defense, there were like no casts.
Yeah. Half
of them had different names, probably different premises.
Yeah.
It's not even our fault.
Yeah.
That they're all oranges. We were just like, we trust Hallmark's mostly oranges.
Right. Exactly. And some of these we didn't even know about at all. And so, but The Christmas Cottage is basically a story about this girl played by Merritt Patterson, and her name is Lacey, and she was in The Royal Winter earlier this year. Did you see that?
I did, but this was before I was, in a fully vested Hallmark podcaster. Right. So I don't remember a ton about it because it was just like on.
Yeah.
While I was doing things. I will go back and rewatch it. I'm pretty sure it's still even on my DVR.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's a generic princess movie. I like princess movies, and so I enjoyed it, but I ended up having it at number 45 on my current ranking. New this year, I will watch 65 Hallmark movies. And so I have Royal Winter at 45 out of 65. And by the time we watch the Royal New Year's Ball, I will have seen 69 total for the year.
You need to watch more mystery ones.
I know. Yeah, maybe I could. Maybe I'll finally dive into those. But anyway, that's where I'm at so far is 65. And so anyway, Merritt Patterson, she plays Lacey. She's the friend of this girl named Ava who's getting married and who she grew up with. And
side note, this girl was so familiar to me, and I could not place her. I have no idea if this is really why she looks super familiar to me, but she was on an episode of So Weird, which was, as you know, my favorite show when I was a child. It was like X-Files for children on the Disney Channel.
Oh, really?
It was amazing, and I really think that's what it is. It was very formative for me. So.
Oh, okay.
Anytime I can shout out So Weird, I will.
Yeah, I've never heard that. So Brittany Wilson was her name. And anyway, they have this tradition in their family of this cottage that they get married around Christmas, and that gets set up, and it's like good luck for your wedding, for your marriage, if you spend your first night in this cottage. And so the brother of the Ava character is played by Steve Lund, and they have a history. Lacey and Ian is the brother.
Yeah, and Ian spelled with an E.
Yes. And so Steve Lund was in The Art of Us, which I have at 39 on my ranking for the year.
I really liked him.
Yeah, it was just different. Taylor Cole's not my favorite, but at least he tried something new. Yeah. And so anyway, what did you think overall of this movie?
So overall, I feel like it was mostly pretty bland. But I really enjoyed all of the people they had as the secondary characters. So, obviously Brittany Wilson as Ava, the sister, and her fiance, Carrie Feehan, who I love. He's her sister's brother in Nine Lives of Christmas, and I just love him. I love him. Every time he's on the screen, I'm like, yay! And then also Lacey's jerk boyfriend, who was not really a jerk.
Yeah.
He was just, like I said, I think I said this while tweeting, he's like the before in a Hallmark movie. Like, he's primed to go to a small town and fall in love.
Yeah.
He's played by Victor Zink Jr., and I think he is just so handsome. Like, factory made, super handsome. Anyway, so I liked all of those characters, and I think the casting did a really nice job with everybody. But the movie was just kind of whatever.
I think that the casting was really strong. I agree with you there. And I wish that they had stayed in the cottage longer. Those are probably my favorite scenes, because what happens is, of course, Ian and Lacey get stuck in the cottage. They get snowed in. And I just thought that whole section was the most enjoyable for me. And I think it worked. And I thought they had pretty good chemistry, the two of them. I liked them together. And I don't know. I guess maybe I enjoyed it a little bit more than you. I thought it was pretty classic Hallmark movie, this one. I wasn't as high on Ava as you were, just because I felt like she was kind of high maintenance. Like, I mean, I really felt like they were kind of bratty particularly about the Christmas tree. Like, that white Christmas tree was really pretty. And
Rachel, you're coming for her wig because you have a white Christmas tree.
Well, no, I'm talking about the white ornaments and the way that she had it decorated.
Oh, right.
Yeah, like, and it was like, oh, well, you gotta, they were like kind of offended that she would like order stuff online and like have this, that she wouldn't, I guess that was somehow worse than like using the stuff, the old stuff, whatever. And that was somehow, they like judged her because of that. And I'm like,
in their defense, I mean, she'd been there before. She knew the family's tradition. So, like, I mean, she probably knew they had all these ornaments. I mean, for Pete's sake, they made a cute little ornament of themselves with a heart when they were children. It's not like these family heirloom ornaments are a brand new concept for her.
Well, and I just felt like when she said something to the point of like, can't you just let me have this one thing? And I'm like, yeah, can't you just have one thing that she's like designed for her friend, that, I don't know. I just felt like they were being a little bratty, to be honest.
How dare you?
I did.
Also, it's her wedding. She's allowed to have things the way she wants. It's like Ian said. We're not decorating the cottage to make you happy, Lacey. We're decorating the cottage to make Ava happy.
Yeah.
If Lacey was going to stay there, this would be different.
I guess. But I don't know. And so, but I liked them, all the scenes with them sort of, hanging out in their PJs in the snowed-in cottage.
It was cute. I will agree. PJ party was the best part.
Yeah. I could have had that even longer. I really could have. I was kind of hoping they would like go into one more day or something like that, but they quickly, everything gets sort of figured out. And I don't know. I liked the fact that she like did the drawing of his like dream life or whatever, and of his
and okay,
restaurant.
I don't remember what stupid name they came up with for his Cafe de Ian or something.
Yeah.
I can't believe that his name is spelled EAN, and they don't have it be like Eats at Ian or like Ian's Eats, because his name is literally almost Eat, and he's trying to set up a restaurant, and they don't do some sort of play on that. I was so mad while watching it. It was distracting.
Yeah, but I have to say, this guy, Steve Lund, he's a good-looking guy.
Yeah, he can definitely be in one of the dueling firehouses.
Yeah, let's guess.
In the 365 Men of Christmas.
Yeah.
I mean, and a little baby.
And so, yeah, I did think, though, and we talked about this previously, but So the weird food was the special food that he's like cooking for her was like
He's like
out of control.
He's
So
like, oh, look at this very fancy turkey with cumin and cilantro and cranberry sauce
so this
and
is
peppermint.
yeah. So in one meal, you have miso, which is a strong flavor, miso glazed turkey with roasted yams, with gochujang, which is another strong flavor, green beans, and five spice, another strong flavor, gravy. Okay, that's just your main meal. Then for dessert, you have cranberry, strong flavor, gingerbread, strong flavor, souffle with bourbon, strong flavor, molasses sauce. So in one meal, you like all of these things individually were probably tasty, but combined, I just think it just sounds so bad,
And
terrible.
not to be this person, but none of those meal things are for me. Like cranberry, thanks. I'll take the cranberry. Everything else, I'm kind of, no thanks. So
Like,
when he was like, here's my fancy meal, I was like, I'll pass.
on the Christmas cottage, and so I enjoyed it. I actually thought I liked the fact they didn't do a liar reveal. It was just sort of this miscommunication about him throwing away the or dropping or whatever the drawing, but he does leave to go to Finland, but then of course stops by the cottage just in the nick of time. And I thought the ending was kind of nice. And we talked about this last time, but she doesn't pick up the phone and kiss, which I kind of liked. I don't know. I just enjoyed it. Maybe I was just in the mood for it. But I actually have it ranked. Well, I guess we should do crowns first. But I would give this 3.5 crowns. I liked it. Yeah.
Interesting. I gave it 3 crowns even. It was just fine. Mm-hmm. That's what 3 crowns means. It's fine.
Christmas Cottage in my ranking at number 26. I have it just after Bramble House Christmas and before The Good Witch, Spellbound.
Okay.
So there you go. I enjoyed it. Okay. Next up, we have Christmas Encore. So this one we gave 2 oranges to.
Yes.
So like I said, most of these were oranges. I don't think we knew the casting. I can't remember. But anyway, so basically the idea behind this movie is you have Maggie Lawson playing Charlotte, and I guess she's only been in one other Hallmark movie, which seems wrong, but I couldn't find any. But she was in My Favorite Wedding. Wedding is listed at 35 in my ranking. So right, kind of in the middle. But anyway, so Maggie Lawson, and it was really funny on the Psych movie. Did you watch that yet?
Yes, I did.
Okay, wasn't that so funny? And they were like,
died.
So funny. And when they were like, that sounds right out of a Hallmark movie. And it was just so funny because Sean says, Jules would never do a Hallmark movie.
Yeah.
She's doing one that Saturday.
It was so funny. I laughed so hard. Yeah. It was the only thing that actually got spoiled for me about the Psych movie.
Oh,
which
sorry.
is not surprising because, we do a Hallmark podcast, so obviously the Hallmark things come up in my feed. Oh. But it was so funny.
Sorry.
It's not a spoiler, really. It doesn't change the plot, but I was anticipating the joke.
Oh, okay.
And I feel like it even made it more funny.
Okay. Yeah, it was so funny. She plays this like struggling actress in New York City, and she's trying to get these advertising jobs at first, and she ends up, through various contrivances, ends up getting a part, and we'll talk about more about this, but she gets this part in this version of Christmas Carol. And Brennan Elliott, who's one of the kings of Hallmark, probably, huge people love Brennan Elliott, and he is the director, but he's also her former adversary, because he's an actor for the show called Thick and Thin. It sounded like a really lame show.
I was so on board with Thick and Thin.
Oh, you liked it?
It's really good fake movie name.
Okay. I don't know. I felt like I couldn't decide if the movie was making fun. Like, if that, I couldn't decide if he was supposed to be like too cool or like lame.
Well, I
Because like,
think the
what?
show is one of the, like, I think Thick and Thin is supposed to be like an over the top, dramatic slash terrible show that's
Mm-hmm.
super popular. So like
Okay.
he'd be super famous and super popular, but also kind of ridiculous, I
But
think
that
is what
doesn't.
they were going
It
for.
doesn't really make sense though, because why would he not be able to call in favors, and why would he have to turn to ex-girlfriend? Like I said, we'll talk about more about this, but like,
Well, it sounds to me like the show had been canceled for a while and that his ex-girlfriend had gone on to do more things where he
hmm.
kind of didn't really do much. Like I kind of imagine him doing the Comic-Con circuit,
So
like
when her roommate was watching it, that was like old. It wasn't
yeah,
like
I
a
think it was
new
like in
broadcast.
syndication.
Oh, okay. I didn't see it. But she's really mad. She hates him because he like went all improv on their audition and like
Yeah.
ruined it for her because she's not good at improv. And anyway, so yeah, they just do this play, and I have just so you know, the it's Brendan Elliott. All of My Heart too is at 37 on my ranking. It would be
I don't
much
want to talk
lower for
about where it's
you.
at for me.
Yeah, so there you go. But I'm not a big fan of this movie. I really didn't care for it. I think it had so much potential, but my biggest problem with this film is that it felt extremely cluttered to me. Like, she should just have like one best friend that she goes to talk to, and like, and she has the people in the play and the boyfriend or whatever. She can have a wrong guy and a best friend. But this, seriously, this movie she had two roommates. She had a friend in Chicago who has a job for her. She has her mom, the boss at the restaurant. There's the cast of the play. There's then like there was a gray haired lady in the play who like I couldn't tell if she was like on their side or not. She was sort of weird to me. And then there's the catty ex girlfriend. There's the theater owner who's the villain, but you don't see very much of. I mean, it was just there was a lot of characters in this, and I don't think that I don't know. It just felt cluttered to me. And what was frustrating to me is that I think that they had the opportunity to do something really cool and show them like kind of falling in love while participating in Christmas Carol and while participating in this creative endeavor together. But they showed almost none of it. And so instead, it was just your typical like decorating 3 Christmas trees and you know like walking and eating and a snowball duel and like I don't know, I just felt like it was just so bland when they had the opportunity to be something cool and creative and it's supposed to be this big breakthrough that she's like you know that she's now made it basically is kind of the feel, but everybody in the audience was basically one of her friends.
Yeah.
Like that's not like making it. I don't know. Anyway, what did you think of it?
So real talk.
All right.
This is very scathing to say, but I had to watch it in 2 parts. I couldn't even finish watching it because I was super bored and irritated.
Yeah.
First of all, let's talk about the play within the movie, which is A Christmas Carol. Classic. Great. Christmas carols, the best.
Right.
Modern adaptations, excellent. We love the Carrie Fisher one. We love A Diva's Christmas Carol.
Yeah.
And I'll leave it at that. Fun. It's fun. It's a fun idea.
Yeah.
They went with Erlinda for the name, the girl name of Ebenezer. All of the E-names in the history of the world, and they go with Erlinda. It's supposed to be a modern adaptation. No one's used the name Erlinda since like 1650, guys.
I've never even heard that name. Or like, you could do like Eben. That would be way better. And the whole idea that this is like revolutionary to do like you said, you just named, I can think of 4 versions off the top of my head. Granted, I know my Christmas Carol, but I can think of 4 versions off the top of my head that feature women. This is by no means some kind of revolutionary concept.
Yeah, a modernized version of a woman being Ebenezer Scrooge. Bonkers. I guess the modern part of it was, I'm pretty sure she was just every character since she got Tiny Tim's line.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and I guess I would have even been able to accept that this was somehow some breakthrough thing, but we never got to see them like work. Like if they had been like, okay, this is this is a revolutionary thing, and we'd like seen them practicing and seeing them sort of bonding together. I mean, High School Musical is much better looking theater than this is.
This could have been High School Musical.
I know.
This could have been Hallmark School Musical, guys. It wasn't. It wasn't even close. It could have been so many things. But no, you know what it was? Not great.
It was boring.
It was boring. And I'm going to say this. I like Brendan Elliott. I think Brendan Elliott shines when he gets to be funny. And he didn't get to be funny in this.
He didn't get to be funny, and I actually think he's kind of the best when he's sort of sincere and sweet. Like, I don't think he's the right guy to be like the cool, tough guy, Hollywood celebrity, whatever.
Not cool, tough guy. But like when he's
even his haircut was a little.
Why did he have 90s Guy Fieri spikes? I did not understand. That's not against him, guys. That's against the gel lady in the hair booth.
Right.
No. So, but I really like when he's very good at comedy. He really is. And he had like maybe 2 moments where he got to be a little bit funny, but he didn't get to really do that. And I think in this, it could have been very endearing to him, like, oh, I'm the cool guy actor, but I'm funny, instead of, oh, I'm the cool guy actor, but I'm trying to be super sincere, but it's just weird.
Yeah.
I don't know. I do like when he's the villain, because he's a good bad guy. But
my favorite of his is the Nanny Express, and he's just really like sweet and sincere and trying, and like a dad who's really trying. And so I guess that's where I see him the most. But like, I don't know. And the thing is, I don't think that they should have set this in New York, because the whole idea that like people would be up in arms about an off-Broadway theater closing, I know this is overthinking it, but still is ridiculous. Like, New York City has like hundreds of theaters. Like, there's no community around theaters, like some off-Broadway theater doing some version of Christmas Carol. Like, all of her friends showed up, but like,
I mean,
ridiculous that there would be this like community outcry is absurd.
I feel like that theater was minuscule. Like, no offense, my elementary school production of anything had more people than that. Yeah. I'm pretty sure my niece's Christmas program for just her preschool class had more people in attendance. Yeah. And they were all probably equally connected to the Hollywood scene. Also, why was she trying to make it in film and television in New York? If she didn't want to be a Broadway or a stage person, why was she in New York at all?
I have no idea.
Because that's not where you go.
Right. Agreed. And do you agree that it was kind of cluttered? Like, why did we need 2 roommates?
It was not great, guys. I'm so sorry. I know I saw a lady who posted something about how she liked that it was different and it was them working together and growing together. And I was like, no, it wasn't. That's what they just told you it was. They didn't actually do it. Made me mad. I had to pause it, you guys. I was watching it and I was like, I wanted you to be so good. Maggie Lawson show. I like them. I like Maggie Lawson. This is disappointing. Yeah. I'm going to have to take a minute.
I was live tweeting, so I couldn't, but yeah, I agree. And I don't know, I didn't think that they had good chemistry, which I thought that they would going into it. I thought they would have really good chemistry, but I did not think they did. And when the whole like save the blank fails, it is such a snooze. Like, save the farm, save the theater, save the restaurant, save the blah, 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 blah. It can work if it's executed well.
Yeah, we didn't need to save the barn or whatever.
Like the Christmas at Holly Lodge, that was basically like a save the lodge kind of storyline, whatever.
Let's just stop pretending like anything's going to go out of business. Yeah, would be on board, but there's no stakes.
Yeah, because I was thinking about, that's the difference between something like this and like You've Got Mail. You've Got Mail closes the shop. You've Got Mail has the guts to have to figure out a whole new path and a whole new life, and so. Yeah, I mean, I think that's probably, I think people are thinking of stories like that when they set it in New York. But like, if this was set in Salt Lake City or something like that, like the closing of a major like theater, that would be way more of like a community thing than like off-Broadway New York. Like,
Yeah.
and
I'm sorry, you being a success your first night when it's just like your friends and family preview
yeah.
of a tiny off-Broadway show, like you said, that does not mean you've made it.
No.
And like, oh, what a big risk to keep living your slummy life. That's not a risk. That's just staying where you are.
Yeah.
And they tried to make us be like, oh, what a breakthrough. She decided to stay and do, like, she literally didn't change or grow the whole time. She just got a job.
Yeah, and he's supposed to be like this creative director, but he literally did nothing creative the entire time. Like, she did a few things, I guess, if you consider her monologue or whatever. He did nothing. Like, why would you want him as a creative director? Like, I don't know. Maybe he did off camera, but not what we saw.
Also, I just need to complain some more. Like, why did we need the 86 people who worked at the theater who we never saw them do anything?
Yeah.
Also, what was with the exposition in the play? Remember when we saw the play and she was like, oh, hello, thank you. I am very excited. I hope I get this promotion that I would like to get. What? Because, like, in that, is she not only Ebenezer Scrooge, but also Bob Cratchit and also Tiny Kim? Like, who?
I really
can't
confused.
handle the fact that there are only... There were like 8 characters at that feast at the end, but she's all the characters. So who were the other people? Like the Christmas goose that she picked up on the way? I don't understand.
I mean, this is really revolutionary here. This is very
I mean, I guess if you are doing a one-man Christmas Carol, that is kind of revolutionary. So maybe I had to take back everything I said against the play and realize, oh, that's it. She's doing a one-man show.
Yeah. So it was frustrating.
And then all the ghosts are actually just like her schizophrenia. You guys, this actually changes. This is a revolutionary interpretation.
Maybe all of her friends. Like, that's why it was so cluttered. They're all like her.
Also, if you're going to have them doing a Christmas Carol in the thing, she has to have a sort of Christmas Carol arc, doesn't she?
I would think so. And the whole thing with Chicago, I thought that was a total weird thing.
Like it kind of would have even been fun if like they had her friend come back and offer her all of these things and a look at like her Christmas past, like her past. And then if they had her waiter friend acting as like Christmas present.
Yeah.
And then also like Christmas future was something else. Like maybe that would have been fun and like, oh, how interesting. If you really look at it, you can see that she's actually going through an Ebenezer Scrooge arc. No, she's not. It's just they just have 100 people in the show.
Well, and she was being so stupid too. Like I actually liked the catty ex-girlfriend. Like she could have been fun, but they didn't use her enough. But like she's being all jealous because this person is helping them with their play and like getting the word out. And I don't know.
She's all jealous. You guys haven't even kissed. Dial it back.
Yeah, right. And she had just told him that she wasn't interested. I don't date actors. She just told him that. And then she's all like super jealous.
Anyway, you guys, I can't talk about it anymore. You're going to get mad at me. So let's just leave it at I gave it 2.2 crowns.
Oh, yeah. So I gave it 1.5.
Ooh, I was so tempted to give it lower. Ooh, I was so tempted. But then I thought, it did have Maggie Lawson in it, and it did have Brendan Elliott.
But isn't that worse to have those great talent and you use them poorly?
Well, I don't know. There were some things, it just, I'll tell you what. It actually was started at a 2.8. And then as I kept watching it, it just kept hemorrhaging points as it kept going. So, like, if the movie had been a half an hour longer, it could have gotten a lot worse. I think you need to at least
get rid of that point, too. Take it off.
Take it off?
Okay. Take it off.
I was struggling with it, but it's gone. It's gone.
So, I have this ranked at number 59 out of 65. I have it below Love Blossoms which was so boring, and 58, and above A Joyous Christmas, which I just found there was nobody in this movie that like actively annoyed me, like in that movie. But that's just what we thought.
It's not against him. We're not mad at him.
No.
We're mad at almost everyone else and his hair.
We still want him to be in the Firehouse movie.
Yeah, he would be an excellent chief of one of the firehouses.
Oh, yes.
Like, imagine Cameron Matheson's the chief of one, Brennan Elliott's the chief of the otother one.
Oh my
Think
gosh.
of the shenanigans.
Oh, I have to write this. Just for fun. Okay, so
just like fanfic.
I know, I do.
It'll be like the next 50 Shades of Grey.
But
so like good. Not like that. It'll be like
better.
The 50 Shades of Eggplant. We're not gonna go there.
Hallmark.
50 Shades of Hallmark.
The Hallmark Publishing is looking for entry, so who knows? Okay, so let's talk about the next movie, Sharing Christmas, because we have 7 to cover. So Sharing Christmas, this was changed from The Christmas Shop, and I think that was just very stupid. There's nothing in this movie about sharing Christmas.
I honestly, can I just also say, I don't understand these name changes. Like, unless there is some other property that has that name, I don't know why they're changing it, because they do all this pre-publicity trying to get you hyped up and release all these articles and press releases and schedules, and they're like, psych, the name's different. And the names are usually worse.
Yes. Yeah, way worse. I mean, there was, like, not only was this worse and completely bland, there's no sharing going on. Like, it's just one person introducing another person to their version of Christmas. Like, when does the Bobby Campbell character share with her Christmas?
You know, maybe it got cut with Brooks from The Bachelorette. Maybe that got left on the cutting room floor like he did.
It could be. I don't know. It's just so weird. I don't understand the name. But we had given this 2 oranges, but it was slightly different in the original summary that we read. It was a man who owned the Christmas shop and the Ice Queen woman, businesswoman, who, so that, I think that's actually, it was a good change that they made that.
Yes.
And we have a special connection. You have a special connection to this movie.
I have such a special connection to this movie. I stalked this movie for, several hours. I was just minding my own business, driving to school from work, when out of the corner of my eye, I see cameras and fake snow. And I say, what's this? So I just keep doing loops around the block because I've got about a half an hour to kill.
Right.
Just trying to figure out what show it is. Fun fact, didn't figure it out. Went to class, came back from class, parked in a parking garage, and scoped it out.
Oh,
and I saw Bobby Campo. One of the times when I was doing a pass, actually before I parked.
Yeah.
He waved. Pretty sure
Ooh.
at my car because he was like, there's this weird car again. He was like off camera, and I said, oh my gosh, it's Bobby Campo. And then I said, oh, I know what it is. It's the Christmas shop. And I was excited, and then I got his name changed. But It was very fun. I took a paparazzi picture. You couldn't tell anything because I just had my iPhone. It was very exciting. Yeah. Anyway, also, so obviously it was filmed in Utah. It was fun.
This is another one, like Christmas Encore. I don't understand why you have this in New York, because this shop would get slaughtered in New York City. Like, it's not nearly, like, no, they have no technology, like, the idea that, like a shop like this.
Well, is it New York City, or is it, like, New York State?
I think it was supposed to be, like, one of the boroughs, like Brooklyn or someplace like that. I don't know. But, like, it would get slaughtered. And I guess they had, like, rent control.
They CGI'd in some tall buildings around Trolley Square. Yeah. So, yeah, it was downtown.
It would make much more sense to have it in Utah or someplace like that. Have it in Denver or wherever. Because, like, that kind of store would need so much more to that. Maybe I'm not giving New York enough credit. Maybe they really, like, idolize and are, like, super community about these stores. But I don't think so. And, I mean,
let's set this in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, like, I mean, if the cute little store and You've Got Mail can go under and nobody cares, I don't think that your little Christmas shop is going to be doing anything. And so one of the problems that I have with this, I didn't hate this movie, but one of the problems I had with this movie is I didn't think the shop was nearly special enough. It looked kind of amateurish to me. And I don't know, it should have been more like in Evergreen, the Christmas in Evergreen, whatever, where it just everything in that whole town just looked beautiful and magical and wonderful. It should have had sort of that kind of feel. Even in Finding Santa, like that Christmas shop was way better than this Christmas shop.
Yeah, this Christmas shop was a little meh. Also, I do want to say, like, Trolley Square is such an interesting looking place, which is where they filmed the interiors.
Right.
And all they ever showed you was that foyer with the giant tree, and it's like
and just one cool. shot of the water tower, whatever.
Yeah, and the water tower. But there's like bricks that are like all laid inside. It's like a very cool setup. There's like literally an old trolley there that there's like a restaurant or something in. They didn't even show that. They're like, Trolley Square, where they don't even show the iconic trolley. They just show the water tower. I just was confused. But it would have helped make the whole building and the whole area seem like more of something to save if they had, shown some of the charm.
Just so many ways they could have made it feel more special and magical and whimsical. And it just didn't feel. It looked cheap to me. And so anyway, but let's talk about some of the positives. So you have Ellen Holman as Stephanie, as the daughter of the owners of the Christmas shop, and like her parents are like jutting off to Florida, and they're leaving her the shop, and she doesn't seem ready for this. Would you agree?
Yeah, and like I don't really understand why they're like, okay, bye, have fun with the store. And they, like, neither of them really wanted to go. It was really weird.
I mean, but they really have not had any warning that this was all going to be like crumbling, and they're just like, bye, daughter. Also, maybe they didn't. I don't know.
They're a Christmas shop, and they don't say, okay, you can have this after the new year. Once Christmas is over. Right. They're like, busiest time of the season. Peace.
Yeah.
It was just bonkers. I don't know.
So, but I thought that she was good, though. And I guess this is her Hallmark debut. I couldn't find, she's in a Lifetime movie called A Perfect Christmas List. I haven't seen it. But it was also directed by the same director, Peter Sullivan.
Yeah. So I actually, when they announced her, I was a little unsure about her because, she was untested and I didn't really know anything. But she was actually quite a delight. I was very pleased.
Agreed.
And obviously Bobby Campo is an angel. So he waved at me. And
because he's been in a number. He was in My Christmas Love, which I didn't really like, but he was charming in it. And Snow Bride, he's in.
Yep.
And he's also in the Love Comes Softly Christmas movie.
Yeah, so he's a delight, you guys. And he's really into Christmas. Just watch his videos. I'm just kidding. Just see what movies he's in. But no, it was fun. I really liked it. I liked that the Dave Cuz guy, the saxophone man, like actually had lines. That made it fun.
Yeah, and it was nice. I liked that whole thing. He actually got to really play, and which was nice, and it sounded good, and the whole like music side of it I thought really worked. I liked that. Him taking her to like the vinyl shop and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I do also have to say I super loved his little snowman. I thought it was so funny when he would just like talk to his little snowman. That was funny. That was a good moment.
I don't even remember that.
His little snowman ornament that he got.
Oh, but also like supposedly she makes these ornaments for
Don't talk
this
about
man.
the ornaments.
You loved them?
No.
They looked terrible. Supposedly they're supposed to be like super meaningful, and they look like something you make in primary. Like it looked
Yeah, guys, it was not necessarily the finest ornament crafting I've ever seen.
Yeah. It wasn't good.
Was the old man who came back every year blind?
Yeah, because it looked terrible. And
I legitimately, I am not a crafty person. I legitimately could make something better looking than that.
Oh, for sure.
And I'm sure they were going for I want them to be able to tell that they made this, that we didn't just get a Hallmark keepsake ornament. But just throw in a Hallmark keepsake ornament, guys. This is fine. We'll be fine with it.
Yeah, or have her like select the perfect ornament for this memory. Like that would have been way better, and have it be like a, you could have done like magical Christmas ornaments, and have it be just this almost this magical, beautiful, perfect ornament that she picks out. Like if you're not going to make one,
we're just
better
nitpicking right now because we're haters, you guys. It's not. It's not. I actually really did like this movie for the most part.
Did you? I thought it was fine. I was sort of in the fine camp. I thought that they had chemistry, and that's what saved it. And I thought that they were so good together that I liked that. And
they quit his job. He's like, "You won't let him stay? I'm out." And he actually followed through. And then she was mad at him and didn't talk to him. And I was like, he literally just quit. What are you talking about? But it was fun. I liked it.
Yeah, and he helped her get like all advanced in technology. And I was so surprised though when they did the year later that like it wasn't. I don't know. It was just like, here's the shop. That's all it was. I thought he was gonna like propose or something.
And they kissed on the cheek. They had a cheek kiss, and I love cheek kisses.
Oh, yeah. But I was just surprised. Why do an epilogue if you're not going to have, I don't know.
I prefer an epilogue to anything. Epilogues are better than the movie. Because
nothing really
that you're not going to get Autumn in the vineyarded, and they're just going to be broken up. You know that they'll be fine.
I guess, but like, why wouldn't you have, like, I like the one in Finding Santa way better. Because they actually get like
obviously
engaged.
When they get engaged it's better, or when they get married, or they show them like 8 years later and there's like, here's a wedding ring, we got 9 children. That is obviously better.
Yeah,
the further you go and the more advanced the relationship is, it's better. But
I don't know,
beggars can't be choosers, and I take my epilogues where I can get them.
Okay, well, so I gave this 3 crowns.
I also gave it 3 crowns.
Yeah. And so I actually have it at number 38 on my ranking. I have it just after The Christmas Train at 37, and just before The Art of Us at 39.
Cool.
There you go. Okay, so next up we have Carrie Kingsbury's Maggie's Christmas Miracle. And I did read this book. Okay. And the book is a lot more Christian than me. than the movie. But it was good. I liked it. It's very short. It's just like a novella. And so anyway, but in this you have the single mom, Maggie, who is very protective of her son, and like doesn't want him to like have a Christmas tree, and just like very like protective because of her past. And it starts out with her when she's like 13.
Prologue.
Meeting. What's that?
Prologue.
Yeah,
half as good as an epilogue, but better than nothing.
Yeah, it was cute. Though they were really cute, these teens. But anyway, supposedly this was like the greatest day of her life. Was spending time with Casey. Casey, and when she was 13. Even though it was kind of funny to me because she would say that she's like, "That was the happiest day of my life," and I'm thinking, you've had like a child. Like this shouldn't be 13. Shouldn't be the happiest day of your life. Like I would think having your child or like.
Well, maybe she means like the happiest day of her life that involves no one else. I mean, I guess it involved what's his face. I don't know. She's just a terrible person.
Yeah, she's just funny. But anyway, and so Jill Wagner is playing Maggie, and she has been in Autumn Dreams and Christmas Cookies. And
wait, his name is Cade.
Cade, but like he's really Casey. Like
yeah, I know.
Like yeah,
I don't want to. I'll talk about that in a minute.
Okay, but anyway, and so this is Harvest Wedding. I have at 15 in my ranking, so pretty high. She's great. I love her.
She's amazing.
Yeah,
I'm excited that she's been added to the list of ladies because she's a delight.
Yeah, she's really good. And I wanted to say that I've been wanting to make a comment about this for some time, but I keep forgetting in the podcast. So they could maybe work a little bit harder on the title cards of these movies. This one was the worst I've ever seen, though. It was literally Times New Roman with a drop shadow. Like it was like anybody with Photoshop could make the title cards for this movie.
Yeah, and the thing that I don't understand is, so they have these posters that they release for these movies.
Yeah.
that have these cute little different fonts and like whatever.
Yeah.
And they don't even use those in their movie.
Right. In the title cards.
I know how hard it is to add a title to a movie. So they can do it, you guys. It's not that difficult.
Like, I get it. We're being nitpicky here, but I've been wanting to say it for a while because they're just so lazy. And this one was just the worst. It was son who starts writing these letters to God. And one of the things the book does better is that, like, she's more of a religious character. And so, like, it makes more sense. Like, I kind of wondered, like, do you think it was a little odd that, like, he is very religious and writing letters to God, but, like, she didn't ever seem religious?
I didn't look too much into it. I was like, children have faith.
Okay. Anyway, so he's writing these letters to God, asking for his mom to be happy, which was very sweet. And this kid was so cute.
So cute. Coolest, best glasses in the history of glasses.
Yeah.
Hashtag best glasses in the universe.
Yeah.
You guys. Nope, we're not done.
Oh, sorry.
They were Ray-Bans, they were blue. He was so cool in them. I wanted to buy some, but I didn't want to be a copycat. But I really looked into it.
They were really cute, and he was great. And just a very sweet, thoughtful little kid. And so he's not doing that well in school.
Yeah, he's like, math is terrible. I hate math.
Yeah. And so they have Mr. Cade, as he's referred to here, as a reference for a tutor.
Casey.
Yeah. I mean,
you're mixing him up.
No, Cade is what he goes by at the beginning, right?
Cade's what he goes by as a baby.
Oh, sorry.
Casey's his name as a grown-up.
So they have Casey as a reference for a tutor, and that's our main man, Mr. Luke McFarlane.
Who, oh my Lanta.
Yeah.
Luke McFarlane. He is making some excellent progress in my heart. Yeah. And working his way up the fireman's rankings.
Yes.
In the 18 men and a baby.
Yeah, because I already like Mistletoe Promise a lot. I think that's really good. And I love The Birthday Wish that he was already in this year. And that is number 7 in my ranking. I really like it. And so he's like scoring big points so far in these roles.
Yeah, you guys. I mean, they're investing well.
Yeah. He was great in this, I thought. And so he plays this like wounded man who like has lost his wife. It's so sad. And like
remember when he was talking to the quilt?
Yes,
poor little guy.
It was so sad.
But he's
sad. He's like a miracle man because he's like running this diner and he has these like Christmas stuff on the side. Plus he's tutoring. Plus he's just great. And so they start to get to know each other, and he started doing all his tutoring. And I liked the grandma in this a lot. She was cool.
Yeah, she was good.
There was a fun scene where they were folding clothes or whatever.
Yeah.
And I can't remember exactly. I didn't write down, but
Maggie was rolling, and the grandma was folding. And Maggie was like, well, it won't wrinkle the shirts. And I'm calling shenanigans on that, because if you roll a shirt, it still gets wrinkled, just gets wrinkled in a different way.
Right. But I wish I'd written down that little dynamic, because it was just basically like, it was kind of like a don't blame me for your problems kind of a thing, you know, like she had said something like, well, you never got over Dad leaving.
Yeah.
And either. And the mom was just kind of like, no, that's not an excuse. And so I thought that she was good, and she kind of called, I actually wrote down here, I liked the grandma and how she called Maggie out on her BS. That is very true. I agree with myself.
It's good, though. It was good. I mean, there was so much about this movie that was really great.
Yeah. And they had great chemistry together. And let's talk about our Mr. Creepster.
Okay, Lane Edwards, who I love. He's been in lots of things where he's like the side guy or the wrong guy.
Yeah.
I think he's been the nice guy in a couple of them, but not like the guy.
Right.
I love him. He's so great. Except for in this movie where I legitimately was worried for Maggie. Like
Yeah.
I think I told you this, that I was worried we were taking a turn for like a Lifetime
Right.
movie, a cautionary tale. It
Because he says,
was,
I wrote it down because it was so creepy. He says, you want to talk about the law. I want to talk about the perfume you were wearing.
which like, borderline. If that was the only red flag, we would have been like, eh. It was just like weird moment. But no, like he shows up, he follows her, he's like,
Yeah.
let's always spend our time only together. Oh my goodness. And then
Yeah.
he's also, I don't know,
Well,
he
he
was
wants
like a
her to
little
leave and
scary.
go to Rome, like, and leave her kid. And he says, I love a generous man. I should clone me.
Like
What?
he is crazy.
Yeah, it was
Like
creepster.
I didn't like it. And
It's the scene where they're cooking. I thought that was so funny and so great. And I really thought that was. Did you like that? Oh,
yeah,
he was teaching.
honestly, it was all of the Luke McFarlane's a delight, and Maggie, what's her name? Jill Wagner is a delight too. So when
Yeah,
they were together, it was extra delightful.
agreed.
I
Yeah,
loved everything about it except for a couple of things.
yeah. Well, one other scene that I loved, and then we'll talk about your concerns. So I loved the ask on a date scene. They don't have that near enough, I don't think, on in Hallmark movies, but it was so cute. I was one of my favorites of this Christmas season, to be honest.
Yeah.
And he's like, "So what are you doing Thursday?" "Oh, I have this." And he's like, "What are you doing Friday?" And she's like, "I'm going on a date Friday." And he's like, "Whoa, really?" She's like, "Yeah, with a Tudor cafe owner that I know." That was so
It
cute. I
was cute.
love that.
I really liked it, and I was like, well, I hope someday someone will ask me on a date so I can use that.
Yeah, that was really good. That was so cute, I thought. And the other part, they had this beautiful singer. They doing "Oh Holy Night."
Okay, so sometimes you are a little nicer about the singers than I am. Not gonna lie, you're
You
like,
think he
oh,
was a good
there's.
singer?
I'm. This is a preface,
Okay.
and sometimes I just am like, well, if Rachel likes them, different strokes for different folks. This guy, you had tweeted, oh, he's so lovely singing wise, and I was like, I guess I'll listen and see. And I was like, bravo, well done. And I
Okay,
think the
good.
reason why I was so impressed and I loved him so much is because he was just singing like pure and from the heart. And he wasn't singing in a way that was trying to be like, I'm the best
Yeah,
singer. He was
agreed.
just like, I'm just going to try to do this song justice so people can hear it and feel how wonderful this song is. Not like, I'm the best. Everyone be impressed at how well I'm singing, which is
And
really, it's a
yeah,
it's a slippery slope and you fall into it. But he wasn't even close to falling into it.
no,
He was so great. I want him to be in all of the Christmas movies and singing. If he
like
do we know his name?
I don't know. We should find out because I have never live tweeted a video clip, and it was so good that I literally on my phone like held it up to my TV so that I could, even though it didn't look great, I just wanted people to hear how good it was. And on the live tweet, and "Oh Holy Night" is a hard song.
Yeah, and he's probably an angel because he was singing like one, governor.
It has a
He
whole
was so
octave
good.
change. It's hard.
It's really hard, and he's great. Oh, I want to talk about the quilt.
Okay.
And moving on. Okay? This bloke who has kept this stupid glove for a million years from a girl that he kind of liked when he was 13. We're expecting him to give up this beautiful handcrafted quilt from his
Yeah.
wife who died and just throw it away so he moves on. No, it was completely out of line. Like, he can fold it up and like put it in storage, but like that's just like saying like, forget my wife, I'm gonna keep this stupid glove still. It made
Yeah.
me really angry.
Yeah.
Like on behalf of his first wife, who he did love and who was delightful, who helped him start his tutoring thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, it made me really mad. I just hated it. I hated that he gave away the blanket.
Yeah.
It made
Because like I loved in Christmas Homecoming how she goes through that process of giving away the clothes. Like that felt so authentic to me. But like I think it's different, like clothes versus like a handmade quilt. Like it's different.
Well, and also I am the sort of a person where I feel like you keep something, you're not cutting them out of your life, and like no one should ever resent you for keeping something that is like
Yeah.
a memory. Obviously don't, talk to it and be like, oh, if only you were here, quilt lady. Like that was different, but just giving it away seems
Yeah.
it seems it
If you
seems
think about Trading Christmas, which of course I love, like she tells the daughter, she's like, I don't want to look at those pictures now. Like
yeah.
those are holding me back, but it's important that we do look at them and that we always remember, but it's
Yes.
stopping me. Like that's the right way to look at this. Like it's important that we have it and that we remember, but not to the point of it's stopping you from progressing.
If your name is Casey, okay? And
Yes.
it's because you are called K, the letter, and your last name is C, you do not say, oh, I'm going to be called Casey, Casey. If you're going to go ahead and be called Casey, you're going to spell it with a K. It drove me insane. That was cheap. That was cheap by the movie people.
Wait, what? So what's his full name?
His real name is like Cade, Kade, and then his
Oh.
last name was like Chalmer or something that started with a C. So people started calling him KC.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, I see.
like people would be calling you RW, but that doesn't
Right.
have a nice ring to it. And so then he started going by KC, which is fine. And then he started going by Casey, which is like slightly different. But if he was going to go by Casey,
Yeah.
he wouldn't have done it with a C. He would have spelt it with a K. And the only reason why they spelt it with a C, and we know it's spelled with a C because it was written on his thing. We know it's spelled with a K because it's KC. Ew.
Yeah.
It was just as a way to try to trick us into not believing that it was him. And it was cheap.
Wagner, like tons of credit, because I swear she stared at this, like stared in awe at this snow globe for like 3 minutes. Like I I just thought it was so funny, like how long she could like hold that. Like
Jill Wagner is so talented, though. Can we just talk? Like, she can do anything.
I know. I totally sincere that she like held that like snow globe, kind of thing. Like she put the people in Evergreen their snow globe to shame.
Oh my gosh. The people at Christmas in Evergreen were like, this is magic. Womp womp, we're done. They were so fast. I was like, did they even make a wish? Yeah. This isn't like a shooting star. You can take a little time. I agree with you on that. For Pete's sake.
That's funny. Yeah. So anyway, I thought it was a very pleasant movie. I really enjoyed it way more than I thought I was going to.
Yeah, well, I don't know why. On this one, you were like, Amber, you're not going to like it.
I thought you said that you weren't going to like it because of Karen Kingsbury.
Well, it's because she wrote The Bridge.
Oh, right, yeah.
And The Bridge Part 2. And that was just not for me.
Right. Well, yeah, so the long name, and it didn't sound good. And we didn't have a cast, I don't think.
No, we didn't have a cast, and it wasn't super clear what the premise was from the description.
Yeah.
I think the description they gave us was like, based on her novel, we made this movie.
Yeah.
Like, it didn't say anything.
So, how many crowns do you give this one to?
So I actually gave this one 4 crowns. I really did like it. There were just a couple of nitpicks that they were pretty high deductions because I felt very passionately about them.
Yeah. So I gave it 3.5 crowns.
Oh, interesting.
I enjoyed it too. I don't know. But I ended up at number 20 on my ranking. I have it just after Harvest Love and just before Destination Wedding.
Yeah, that's pretty good for you.
Yeah, I was next door. And I am fascinated by this movie because the description that we had at the preview was completely different than what we got. It was supposed to be about this like divorced dad whose ex sends over the kids, and then there's this like the teacher of like one of his kids or something, like they become bonded, but he like prefers electronics. I just remember that it was like prefers the computer over his kids. in the description. I'm like, this is really weird. Like, and so this got completely revamped, and I just don't know how they pulled this off. Like,
and
how
they
did
changed the name from Christmas Next Door to Father Christmas. I mean, it's not even the same movie, but it is. They just like, I don't know how. It's very peculiar.
Like,
you
they
guys
basically made this movie in like 3 weeks. It just blows my mind. Like, that they could go from that description, and they casted it, they filmed it, they like from the end of November to now. Then we got it. I don't know. This is amazing to me. And I'm dying to talk to somebody who's in this movie. If you want to come on the podcast, please do. Because I'm just so curious about how they pulled this off and how they got everything together and everything like this. And I'll just flat out and say, I really liked it. I thought it was super charming. It's about this confirmed bachelor, and he's like this writes these motivational books. And
self-help books, I think.
What's that?
Self-help, I think, would be the term.
Yeah, that's probably true. Self-help books, including a cookbook. I'm like, his family couldn't even read the darn cookbook. Like, yeah, really...
But like, who reads a cookbook? To be fair,
I mean, you can look through it and kind of know what the recipes are.
You don't read the cookbook.
Fair enough. I was just like, man, these guys they're not I don't know, not all that supportive. But anyway, and so Jesse Metcalf plays our lead. And
Redford, which is actually a pretty good name.
Is that his name? I didn't even write down the name.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
Cool.
So he's in Chesapeake Shores as Trace, of course, and in Country Wedding, which I love.
I also love Country Wedding.
Oh, you do? I didn't think you liked it.
Yes, I do.
Okay.
It's pretty high. It's like a 3.9.
Oh, good. Cool. And then he was also in Fairfield Road, which I've never seen.
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, it's a Hallmark movie.
Is it from like the 90s?
I don't know.
Anyway, anyone who's seen Fairfield Road, tell us about it.
Okay. So, and then we have Fiona Gubelman, who has redeemed herself from the Tulips movie.
Oh, the Tulips movie. Talk about a MacGuffin. But no, she was so great in this movie. She really was a delight.
Yeah. And the woman works incredibly hard. I was looking at her IMDb. She has like 9 projects in 2017. Like, some of them are just episodes on TV. But like, she's a hard worker. She's going places. And she was just so charming and sweet in this. And I thought they had great...
This movie was fine for me. I had so many issues.
Oh, okay.
And they're nitpicky. I'll grant it. Like, I didn't want to die when I was watching it. It was fine. But like, he was super rude for no reason about Christmas. Like, I know that girl dumped him, but you don't have to throw ornaments in the road. And I know he's like a bachelor, and I know it's part of his arc, but he was kind of off-putting for me at the beginning. I'm going to be real.
Okay.
And his friends were sort of just useless. I'm going to say that.
Mm-hmm.
And they weren't funny, and they could have been funny, and they weren't. And also... he was super rude to that nice neighbor man. Also, he lives 2 houses away, and how loud was he listening to his music that he'd be like, oh, sorry, was that too loud? Like, if you can hear the music coming from someone's house 2 houses away, that is too loud. Can you even imagine the poor guy who lives between them, who they're so rude to, who has to listen to his loud music and her students? I mean, for Pete's sake, he's the victim here, and he's just being nice, and he's trying to be like, Christmas spirit, everybody. And they're like, what a jerk, he's so nosy. I don't know. It made me really mad. And then also, sorry, I'm just going. Yeah. Her sister, who was like super meddlesome, but not like very fun about it, except for when she made cookies and when I was skating. But like outside of those activities with the children, she was just like, not a fun meddlesome sister. Ugh. But her boyfriend and her, they had no progress, even though it was kind of like a subplot. He didn't learn to make a commitment or anything, even though his idol started making commitments. It made me really mad that they didn't progress or grow. Like, they didn't service my secondary characters, Rachel. You know how I feel about that.
One thing I did like is her sister. I thought they totally looked like they could. I thought she was fine. I thought she was cute. I liked her sister. I didn't have a problem with the sister, but again, it's not as important to me. And I thought the bachelors were fine. They were fine. They did. And you could tell immediately. I knew immediately as soon as I saw that one had a Santa hat that he was like married, 3 kids. Like it was so funny to me. But yeah, I mean, it was so funny to me, like the idea of what like a bachelor is in the Hallmark world, you know, is funny to me, like drinking light beer and like hanging out and watching football. And they're all like, yeah, our wives never let us watch football. I'm like, what are these women? Like, I mean, come on. I get the gambling thing. I get it. But like, let your men watch football. Like,
yeah, and it's just football for Pete's sake. It's not like
I liked the 2 kids. Did you like the 2 kids at all?
oh, the kids were fine. The boy was a little too precocious for me.
Okay.
But like not, I know his like character was supposed to be that way, and I was like, he needs to be a little bit grounded. That's all.
Yeah.
You know, but he's the uncle. He doesn't ground people. He's a fun uncle.
Yeah. So she is a violinist, and I thought that if she doesn't play the violin, I thought she pulled it off very well, like in the like fake playing. I don't know. It looked very real to me. You did really to you? It didn't look real? Okay.
Agree to disagree.
All
also,
right.
I did get
really
super
impressed.
irritated with the like, imagine clones. She doesn't tell us who her clones are. She's like, oh, I did the clones thing. I really wanted them to do, and it would have been ridiculous, but like I wanted them to do like a pan from the back of her and like her favorite people sitting there, and there were the 3 judges, and they were like replaced with her and the niece's nephew and Jesse Metcalf or something. I wanted that to have a payoff other than just her saying like, nailed it, which.
What did you think of the meddlesome mother?
The meddlesome mother did a great job of being a meddlesome mother.
Yeah.
But like, I'm not exactly sure what her goal was other just to make her son spend time with his niece and nephew, which, I mean, if that's her goal, that's fine, but that's not the traditional role of a meddlesome mother. She wasn't like actively scheming matchmaking.
She was just trying to get him to like fall in love with Christmas, which was weird, but I don't know. I liked it. I bought it, and I thought it was funny. I guess I thought a lot of things were funny that maybe you didn't. I thought that him like curbing the Santa, I thought that was really funny. To me, that was hilarious. But
it was so rude.
I liked a lot of things. I guess I liked the curbing the Santa. I liked her. I wrote down her sister was super cool, and they looked like sisters. And I loved the whole caroling scene. I thought the caroling scene was so refreshing, and I don't understand why they don't use caroling more as an activity, because it's super easy. It doesn't require any making snow or anything like that, and it was just it just was, I don't know, it was just so fun, I thought. And they had no digital snow, which I appreciated, and they had actual, like, it was cold when they filmed this, because they had actual liquid in actual cups that were like hot.
Man, liquid in cups is your favorite thing.
Yes. It was like, it just brought the whole experience. It made it feel like more real.
Well, you know how I feel about Santas. I mean, snowmen. I hate snowmen.
Yeah.
Puffball snowmen. But I'd rather, caroling's great. I think the reason why they probably don't is because it takes up some screen time where actors can't have dialogue.
Loved the ending. I thought it was really good. And he's like, they're sitting there for dinner, and he's just like, I know where she is. I know, because she was mad at him. That was stupid of her. But anyway, so he goes, and she's playing at the restaurant, and I thought that was so good. And he's like, I don't want to, you don't even write romance novels. He's like, I don't want to write one. I want to be in one. I'm like, that was really good, I thought. And then we get a second ending, which was great. So we get our great ending, and then we get a second ending in the snow. And that was very, I thought that was great. I love both those.
I was fine with it.
Well, like I said, I really enjoyed this one. I thought it was a lot of fun, and I gave it 4 crowns.
Huh, interesting. I gave it 2.9 crowns.
What? Whoa. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I have it at 16 in my ranking.
That's pretty high for you, dude.
Yeah, I really liked it. I thought they had, like, chemistry is everything for me, and I thought they had really good chemistry, and I just really enjoyed it.
Okay, fair enough.
So I have it just after Harvest Wedding at 15, and just before Coming Home for Christmas. Or, I mean, Coming Home for Christmas, the one with Danica.
Yep.
Next one, we have Christmas Connection. And this was our adventurous flight attendant, Sydney. She is planning to go to Fiji or something. I can't remember where. Do you remember where she was going?
Bora Bora.
Bora Bora. But she has to take care of this unaccompanied minor, this little girl. And she ends up getting delayed in Chicago. And she ends up meeting with her dad. And so the flight attendant, Sydney, is played by Brooke Burns, who I love, who's in Most Wonderful Time of the Year, which I love. And she was also in, I think it's Hallmark, The Gourmet Detective.
Yeah.
So she's in that. And, but this is only her second Christmas movie, which surprised me. And then Tom Everett Scott, which, as far as I could tell, this is his debut.
Yeah. And as far as I'm concerned, you can have Tom Everett Scott in every movie you want.
Yeah. They were really, really good. They had good chemistry. And yeah, I wasn't a big fan of this movie. I know I say chemistry is everything, but I thought this movie was kind of boring.
Yeah, it was fine for me. You didn't care about the subplot of her parents.
No.
I was like, I'm interested to see how they meet. Let's find out. The clues were a little bit not fun. It wasn't, it's kind of more fun when you can figure it out together. And obviously, I have seen The Cutting Edge, so I knew pretty early on once they said he was a hockey player and when she was like, she's a dancer, I was like, oh, obviously they were a Paris figure skating team together, obviously. So, it was fun for me that I could figure it out before they did. But, I don't know. I really liked it. I liked that I thought they were cute together. She was really great when she was talking with the little girl, and the little girl was so cute for me. Yeah. I thought she was so cute and did such a good job.
She was very cute. And yeah, they did have good chemistry, but I don't know, I would just way rather had it been like, I don't know, just some like generic Hallmark, we got lost traveling kind of story, like they have those kind of things, just something like that. I guess we get it next coming up in Romance at Reindeer Lodge, but like, I don't know, I just thought it was boring.
Oh, I was fine with her being like a flight attendant who couldn't get her a jump seat out. Because why would you pay for a flight if you're a flight attendant? You just wait for a seat. And she didn't have any, place where she was going. I was fine with that. I'm just saying. I was fine with everything. The house was the most beautiful house that we've had yet this season.
It was a beautiful house. But like in Most Wonderful Time of the Year, for instance, like there's an element of a character keep missing flights and stuff like that and whatever, and it totally works. And it's not like that movie has like tons of plot, but I like it so much better than this. Just the plot that they chose, it was just not interesting to me. I just didn't like it. So
you hate mysteries.
I'm not a big fan of mysteries.
And it wasn't even like a mystery. It was like a side plot, and it was kind of fun and little, and it just gave them excuses to go to different places and sightsee.
I didn't think it was little. I thought it was a lot, and I don't know. But maybe my expectations were just too high.
Let's not forget that the uncle in this movie was played by Adam Hertig, Nick from Snowman's.
Oh, nice.
When he showed up, I was so excited. I was like, oh, is that him? His hair's long and he has a beard. It's him. I think it is. And I did so much searching of my heart, and I became convinced it was him, and then I was right. But I was very excited to see him. They got extra points because he was in it, just because I was so excited. I'm a big fan of him now.
I have to say about this. I thought they had great chemistry. I love them. Thought they were great. I thought the girl was adorable. And but the rest I didn't really like very much.
Yeah, I liked it quite a bit.
So how many crowns did you give this one?
I gave it 3.6 crowns.
So I don't know. I gave it 2.5 for me.
What? Rachel, take it back.
No.
Bump it up. Bump it up. Bump it up.
I liked it.
2.75. 2.75. 2.75.
All right. I can give it 2.75.
Yes! You guys, we did it. We did it.
But I would never want to watch it again. I thought it was very
Really?
boring.
Oh, I
No,
really liked it.
absolutely not. I just thought it was boring. So yeah, I have it at number 46 on my ranking. I have it after The Perfect Bride at 45, and I have The Campfire Kiss at 47. And Romance at Reindeer Lodge. And we have Molly and Jared have sworn off partaking in holiday activities. So they're done. And Molly finds out that she's going to get 2 weeks off of work, which I think is like, unless you're in a seasonal business or obviously a service business where you need to be open, this is a great idea. Like, you would improve so much morale. Everybody would be happier. It'd be a great idea. And so anyway, her boss, but she's like a workaholic. And so she doesn't know what to do. And she ends up winning this trip to Jamaica on the radio. And oh no, it turns out she gets on the plane after meeting this guy. It's actually Jamaica, Vermont.
And okay, I just have to say, the movie was trying to sell it like, oh, it's just some big mix-up. I can't believe you didn't understand. Like, oh, whoops, the radio station made a mistake and they sent you to the wrong Jamaica. No, the radio station did this on purpose as a shenanigan. Like, you can't.
Yeah.
I know this. Stop acting like it's some unfortunate event. Like,
that she just didn't like read her ticket right or something like that.
Yeah, no, this was planned by the radio station to be like this.
Like a goof, yeah.
It's a goof.
Both these actors are Hallmark debuts. We have Nikki Whalen, who is Australia. She's from Australia. She was on Home and Family. She's actually from Australia. And Josh Kelly played the guy. And they end up at Reindeer Lodge. And we talked about that this season is very lodge intensive. Lodge slash cottage. Yeah. Couldn't have one fake fiance movie, but you gotta have all these lodge movies.
Not to mention that they're all in peril.
Yeah. But anyway, and so there's this, and of course he's coming there to he has the financial reports, and he's looking at the Reindeer Lodge, and you have a very Santa-ish couple that runs the lodge.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of the Hallelujah chorus, when she gets to Vermont, it was Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas. I don't know why. I thought that was so funny. I'm like, you're going to have the Hallelujah chorus, but you have, I don't know. That made me laugh. But anyway, and so, yeah, I thought that they had some fun moments together, and I liked the other couple that was there to make this reindeer book, but the reindeer are not, they're not there. They haven't come. So it's false advertising, and I liked that other couple pretty good. But I didn't think that they had even though there were some nice moments, I didn't think they had the greatest chemistry. And I don't know. So what did you think about Romance at Reindeer Lodge?
Okay, you guys. This was rough for me. First of all, she needs to stop trying to dress herself and style herself like Draco Malfoy from Harry Potter. I mean, I'm fine with short hair, but I am not fine with heavily blonde dyed hair, slicked back, especially in the scene where she was literally wearing a green cape. All I could see was Draco Malfoy. It was very distracting. Second of all, they had no chemistry. Third of all, she woke up in the morning and are supposed to think she wakes up and she has a full face of makeup on. Shenanigans. Care about the other couple. You're like, Amber, they're a secondary character. Of course you cared about them. No, I didn't. They were boring. First of all, he's supposed to be some fancy photographer, and he keeps trying to, there's all these moments oh, I'm going to take a picture of this couple on this sleigh. You guys, smile for the camera. Click, click. That's supposed to be his fancy photography book.
He wants to make a photography book about the reindeer.
Oh, whatever. No, he wanted it to be about They were Christmas prints. like prints
Oh,
that
but
are
I thought that's
Christmas
why he was
themed.
so upset, and they was all crying because, like, oh, the reindeer aren't really there, and they're all upset with them. Like, how
Yeah, I
could
know they
you?
wanted reindeer in the book, but it wasn't like exclusively a reindeer book. It was Christmas prints.
Oh, I thought it was
So
exclusively a
that's why
reindeer
he took
book.
pictures of like Christmas things. But he kept being like, smile. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants but like if they were like helping each other, oh, that's how you take photography pictures. It made me crazy.
Yeah. Well,
Also, I mean, like, I'm happy that they are having their 1 year anniversary. That's nice. But then they're just are like, oh, the reindeer, that's just not working out. I didn't like it. I'm sick to death of Save the Family Farm, barn,
yeah.
house, lodge, inn, car, whatever it is that's up for sale. I'm sick of it. And I was like, how about you pay your mortgage and then we don't have to worry about this? Not to mention, they're conning people and straight up lying to them that the reindeer are here. I'm supposed to be rooting for these people who don't pay their bills and whatever, but they still have time to find the money to have 80,000 lights on their house. The electricity bill
Yeah.
alone, just don't put lights on your house and you can probably pay your mortgage.
The other thing
Anyway,
that annoyed
you
me was that there was a total lie reveal story, which was very groan inducing, but like it didn't make sense with her character. She's supposedly this like workaholic who like never wants to leave the office, doesn't even want to go on this vacation to begin with. You think if anybody would be understanding of having a father who was like, you know, a workhorse or whatever, that like she would be understanding of that because that was basically her. Like she, you know, and so the
and
fact
like
that she would pretend to be all this like, oh, how could you lie to me? Was basically blaming him for like the decisions of his father, which was so unfair.
and guess what? People they haven't been paying their things. They're allowed to foreclose on them. That's just the way it works.
Yeah. And
I was
also it
I
didn't
was
make
really
sense.
hoping. I was really hoping this was going to be the one where they didn't get the thing. And then everyone didn't show up and I was like, "Well, yeah, cuz no one's going to come buy these stupid
See?
prints of Christmas and cuz they're terrible." And then somehow they're like, "Oh, we paid for them all. Oh, the dad's so kind." All of a sudden,
That's why I say that's why You've Got Mail is better, because it actually closes the store. And the beginning of the movie, nobody in the town has any idea that this place is open again. Like no one. And they're like, oh, that's open? Oh, I didn't even know that was back in business. And so that yet by the end of the movie, they're like so devastated that it's gonna close. And they didn't even know that it was open like 5 days ago.
it's the worst, you guys. Honestly, I hate.
It was not a strong film. It was too bad. I mean, and if you want to talk about literally almost the exact same story is in Snowed In on Lifetime this weekend. Like it's so similar. You got the couple, you got this, you know, stranded in this lodge run by Santa's types. Very similar. This was that one was way better than this. And we'll talk about that later this week, but still it can be done. Like they had all the elements to make a good movie, but it just didn't really work. It was kind of boring for me.
It was. Oh, it literally made me angry, and it's making me angry, and I will continue to be angry about it probably until we stop talking.
So, how many crowns did you give it?
You know, it's lucky. It should be grateful that I gave it 0.8 crowns.
Whoa! So this is your worst of the year.
Yeah, it's maybe it's like it's probably like bottom 10 of all time.
Whoa.
Nope, I can't talk about it anymore. We're done.
All right. Well, I did have it pretty low, so I'm not that far off from you. I gave it 2 crowns, which is probably being generous, but I have
it is.
I make it 1.5. I can do 1.5. I have it at number 62 on my ranking. So I have it just after Summer in the Vineyard, which I thought was so boring. But I didn't hate it as much as Engaging Father Christmas, which I have at 63.
You like this more than Engaging Father
Yes,
Christmas?
because that one made me bonkers.
Okay, what else is there?
Then I have At Home in Midford and The Perfect Christmas Present. Because both of those I just found like so infuriating and frustrating to watch.
This
was just more like,
we will
bleh.
never agree on this, but this is definitely the worst of the year.
I have it pretty low though, very low. So I have
Push it down. Push it down.
It is not to me worse than Engaging Father Christmas. I hated that movie. That made me bonkers.
I mean, like, and I want to apologize to everyone who worked on this movie. You put your heart and soul into it. The end.
I don't know. I just felt like this one was just like bland and kind of boring. Whereas like for me, At Home in Midford, Engaging Father Christmas, and Perfect Christmas Present were like actively frustrating. All right, so we did it. All 7. And so I guess we should do our rankings of the weeks.
Are we going to do the weeks or just all of them together?
All of them together, I think.
Okay.
So I have my ranking, Christmas Next Door at number 1. I have Christmas Cottage at number 2. Oh, I have Maggie's Christmas Miracle at 2. I have Christmas Cottage at 3. I have Sharing Christmas at 4. Christmas Connection at 5. Christmas Encore at 6. And Romance Ranger Lodge at 7.
Okay. So for these 2 weeks, I have Maggie's Christmas Miracle at number 1, Christmas Connection number 2, The Christmas Cottage, and Sharing Christmas tied in 3rd and 4th place, Christmas Next Door, then Christmas Encore, and if there were anything else, they'd still be ahead of Romance at Reindeer Lodge.
Yes. Okay. We have coming up this week, we have Christmas Getaway. And then, wait, no, we don't. Yeah. Sorry. Just a second. So we have Christmas Getaway on Saturday. And we have Rocky Mountain Christmas, which is another weird, because I was originally called Unbridled Love, and that's such a better name.
Oh, it's such a better name.
Than Rocky Mountain Christmas. So I don't know why. And that has Lindy Booth, who was in the that is Lindy Booth, who was in the Angel movie that I don't like. So
I love Lindy Booth. I've loved Lindy Booth since she was on The Famous Jet Jackson. She's also on The Librarians now. She's such a delight for me. So I mean, I'm just primed to like her. That might be why I like the Angel movie. Yeah.
So, and the Christmas Getaway has Bridget Regan and Travis Von Winkle. That's quite a name.
It's When Calls the Heart.
Yes. When Calls the Heart, a Christmas Wishing Tree. So that will be really, really good. And we did get a poster this week for the Royal New Year one with Sam Page and Jessie Schramm. And I really like Jessie Schramm. I've liked both of her movies so far, and so hopefully that one will be good.
And Sam Page has a ways to go.
He does. He has to redeem himself from the Mr. Christmas debacle.
He better find that Annie Claus magic, or I am out on Sam Page.
On Santa Claus too. You just blaming Santa Claus for Sam Page's stuff. So anyway, then can you believe we're almost done?
I mean, I really can after watching Romance at Reindeer Lodge. It's like they were like, you guys, we're in the home stretch. Let's make you be happy about it.
Yeah, it was pretty rough. It was pretty rough. 7 movies. What did you think? How would you rank them? Put in the comments section. And thanks so much. And so, Amber, where can people find you?
As always, people can find me. I'm at Amber Brainwaves on Twitter, and that's it.
Yeah. So you can find me at Smiling Yelled Escrow on social media and at Rachel's Reviews on YouTube and iTunes. And so check that out. And make sure you're subscribed to us all over the place on Instagram and iTunes and SoundCloud and everywhere. So thanks so much. And we'll talk to you all later. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Bye, everybody.